Hare Krishna. So we are reading this morning from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-lila. And this is a place where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes at the end of his manifest pastimes on planet Earth. There is the Adi-lila, which is the beginning part of Lord Chaitanya's life. There is the Madhya-lila, which is the middle part. Adi-lila is his pastime as a householder, as a scholar. Madhya-lila is his pastime as a sannyasi preaching in South India and other places. And Antya-lila is his staying in Jagannath Puri and experiencing deep ecstasy in the mood of separation from Srimati Radharani. He is there in the house of Kashi Mishra at the Gambhira, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing all kinds of weird things there. For all of us to be able to understand what he is doing is too much. Kaviraj Goswami says, don't analyze now. I shall describe it in detail later, but when we read that later, we are as bewildered. Suddenly Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is running out of the house of Kashi Mishra and going to the ocean, and he sees the bluish ocean and he jumps into the ocean, and his limbs are elongating, flesh is hanging down from his elongated limbs. Sometimes all his limbs are getting into the body and he becomes like a pumpkin, and a devotee can lift him up like a pumpkin. There are tears of ecstasy flowing from his eyes, and they are coming out of his eyes like syringes at right angles to the wall. How can someone cry like that? And then he's in the house of Kashi Mishra Gambhira, and out of that separation is rubbing his head against the wall, and his head and his face is being bruised and is bleeding. Swarup Damodar Goswami and Shankar Pandit, Govinda also, are constantly staying with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Last time I was mentioning, Shankar Pandit is the pillow of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu puts his head on Shankar Pandit's lap and rests. And Swarup Damodar Goswami is sitting there, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ratre Pralapa Kare, Ratre in the night, Pralapa Kare, he is experiencing ecstasy and is crying. And Swarupera Kanthadari, he catches the neck of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Sometimes we also catch necks, but not in ecstasy. We catch necks to do something else, Ratre Pralapa Kare, Swarupera Kanthadari is holding the neck of Swarup Damodar Goswami and is weeping. And while weeping, what is he doing? Avesha apana bhava. His internal bhava. What he's going through is separation from Krishna in the mood of Shri Radha. Kahaye ughadi. Openly is explaining to Swarup Damodar Goswami. My God. Forget about understanding Lord Chaitanya. What this separation is, all this. We can't understand what Srimati Radharani and Krishna are doing. Their intimate pastimes and their relationship we are not able to understand clearly. And what to speak of when they come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he's doing all this stuff, rubbing his face and his nose and he's jumping up and down and jumping into the ocean, and his arms are elongating and arms are going in. My God, what is all this? Absolutely bewildering. Absolutely bewildering. Can't just handle it. We have no experience of this, and this is apparently called ecstasy. That is even much more difficult to handle. Someone's crying like anything, you call it ecstasy. Someone's just rubbing his face on the wall and there's bruises and arms are elongating. Flesh is hanging off. Sometimes foam is coming out of the mouth and tears are just springing off. And this is called ecstasy. How do we understand all this? How can one understand this subject matter? How can one understand Srimati Radharani? How can one understand Krishna? Very difficult. During the British Raj, when the British Lords, it's nice to say this in Britain, when the British Lords came to India, some of them read the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And when they read the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and they read the pastimes of Radharani and Krishna, they were bewildered. What is this? This is God playing around with a girl like this? What is this? And they thought, who are the people who worship this Radha Krishna? They came to know it's Vaishnavas. You know what was the conclusion? Their conclusion was, Vaishnavas are going to hell. By understanding, studying things like Radha and Krishna and their loving affairs, and trying to follow these kind of lords, they're going to hell. They just couldn't understand. They thought Lord Chaitanya's religion is a sex religion. Because they saw all kinds of Sahajiyavad going on. Jai Shri Radha Gokulanand ki, Jai Ram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki, Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. They thought there is all kind of cheap stuff going on in Mayapur in the name of Radha Krishna Leela. They thought Lord Chaitanya's religion is a sex religion. Not until 1896, when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote the book, The Teachings and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya, did the British lords and the Britishers change their outlook of what Lord Chaitanya's religion was. Therefore, to understand the subject's matters is not an easy thing. In India, one person, he wrote a book, and the title of the book was Radha, the Stigma on Krishna's Personality. This is India. This is not Great Britain. This is Great India. He wrote a book called Radha, the Stigma on Krishna's Personality. And therefore, we have to understand and change our perspective. How will we take these subject matters? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during his South Indian tour, he came to Sri Rangam. And it was a time of the rainy season, monsoon season, 4 months, Chaturmasya. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a sannyasi, was requested by a great devotee called Venkat Bhatta, the father of our dear Gopal Bhatta Goswami, out of the 6 Goswamis, to stay in his house. Every day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to take darshan of the most beautiful form of Lord Ranganath, perform his pastimes there, dance and chant in ecstasy, and live at the house of Venkat Bhatta. Venkat Bhatta was a devotee of Narayan, and Narayan's consort is Lakshmi. So one day, in a very playful mood, Lord Chaitanya, he told Venkat Bhatta, "Hey Venkat, listen, you know something? Your Lakshmi, you say your Lakshmi is so great and your Narayan is so great. But I say our Radharani and Krishna is great. Because when Krishna was performing his pastimes of Ras Leela with Srimati Radharani and the gopis, your Lakshmi, she left your Narayan. She left your Narayan to come to Krishna. So what does it mean? Narayan is great or Krishna is great? Huh? She left her husband Narayan to come and participate in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, Ras Leela. So what is your opinion about this? And by the way, she did not get entry. Even the Vedic scriptures got entry. Shruti paye, Lakshmi na paye. Even the Shrutis, the Vedic literatures got entrance in the Ras Leela, but your Lakshmi na paye. She could not get entrance. Ithe ki karan? What is the reason? Shruti paye, Lakshmi na paye. Ithe ki karan? The Shrutis got entry in the Ras Leela. Lakshmi did not get entry. What is the reason for this? Venkat Bhatta. Bhatta kahe iha praveshite nare moraman. Venkat Bhatta replied, "My dear Lord, my mind cannot understand all these things. Narayan, Krishna, Radha, Lakshmi, I cannot understand all these things." Lord Chaitanya said, "Why? You are a great Vaishnava. You are a great Vaishnava. You are a devotee of Lakshmi Narayan. You are a big scholar. You can't understand this? Why?" And the next verse he speaks is an amazing verse. Why can't we understand all these subject matters? Why can't we understand the pastimes of Radha Krishna, Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy? Why can't we understand why Lakshmi didn't get entry into Ras Leela? Ami jiva kshudra buddhi sahaja asthir bhatta kahe ishwarera leela kotik samudra gambhir. 4 reasons he gives. Venkat Bhatta gives 4 reasons why we cannot understand. First, Ami Jeev, I am a Jiva. 1/10,000, the tip of a hair. And being a Jiva, insignificant tiny soul, what will I understand? I am an insignificant soul. I know not what's life's goal. In deep ignorance I always roll. And I want all the mysteries to unfold. This is life's greatest jhol. In Bombay, jhol means gufa. The biggest gufa is I am an insignificant soul. I know not what's life's goal. In deep ignorance I roll and I want the mysteries to unfold. Venkat Bhatta said, I am a small, insignificant, tiny particle of the Supreme Absolute. What am I going to understand? The mysteries of Radha Krishna Leela. What to speak of Venkat Bhatta, Advaitacharya. He's Mahavishnu. Can Mahavishnu understand everything? In his pastime as Advaitacharya, even he didn't understand everything about Krishna. He was reading the Bhagavad Gita, and in the 13th chapter, there is a verse, Sarvatah Pani Padam Tat. Everywhere are my hands, and everywhere are my legs, and everywhere are my eyes, and thus I pervade everywhere. Advaitacharya, Mahavishnu, from whom all the universes come, is sitting there in Shantipur, reading the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and this verse is bewildered. He cannot understand this verse. He's not able to understand what this verse means. He fasts. He fasts. For 2-3 days he fasts. He's offering prayers unto the Lord, unto his Shaligram Shila. Reveal this meaning. It's beyond my intelligence to understand. And then Lord Chaitanya personally enters into his heart. Lord Chaitanya personally enters into the heart of Mahavishnu, Advaitacharya, and reveals the meaning of this verse. If Mahavishnu has something that he can't understand, a jiva definitely cannot understand everything. Venkat Bhatta is saying to Lord Chaitanya, I am an ordinary jiva, Ami jiva. What will I understand all these subject matters and mysteries? I don't think it is within my capacity, my dear Lord. Srila Prabhupada, once one devotee came and said to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I am not able to understand the Gita properly. Prabhupada said, successful. Prabhupada's response amazing. He said, I can't understand the Gita properly. Prabhupada said, your life is successful. That doesn't mean not to pick up the Gita and read. Otherwise, this will be great inspiration. Prabhupada said, life is successful, so better not read, Prabhupada said, Lord Krishna spoke the Gita, and after reading the whole Gita, if you understand that you cannot understand the Gita, then you have understood what Gita is. If you understand that you cannot understand what is in the Gita, then you have understood. Because you are a tiny soul and cannot understand everything about Krishna and the mysteries of Krishna and his devotees. What to speak of Advaita, who is Mahavishnu? Lord Krishna cannot understand. Lord Krishna cannot understand Srimati Radharani's love. We are trying to get into the mystery of Radha Krishna's love. We are trying to understand what is Radharani's love for Krishna and how Radha Krishna Leela is going on. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna cannot understand what Radharani's love is. Therefore he has to come as Sri Chaitanya. Why did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come? Krishna came to this world as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To understand what is that love. To understand what is the nature of that love. To understand what is the sweetness of this love. If Krishna cannot understand, I don't think there is any scope for us. If Krishna has something that he cannot understand, he's God. What can a jiva, a tiny insignificant jiva, understand the mysteries of love between Srimati Radharani and Krishna? Therefore, I saw one advertisement, one spiritual organization in India, big advertisement, which said, discover the most benevolent, the most kind, the greatest, the most lovely person, ... you. Discover the most benevolent, the most kind, the greatest, the most lovely person, and big series of dots. And everyone says, what is it? You. Everyone goes there. And when people come to our temple, the first statement we hear, you are an insignificant soul. 1/10,000, the tip of a hair. What are you? Servant. Not greatest, servant. So people go to sleep when such classes go on. Who wants to hear I'm insignificant? Who wants to hear I'm servant? Who wants to hear that I can't understand? Who wants to hear that I can't control? No one. Therefore, these organizations get so many people coming. Discover the most benevolent, the most kind, the greatest, the most lovely person. You, yes. Now it's right. I'm all ears. Tell me what it is, how I am great. Huh? Venkat Bhatta says, Ami Jeev, I am a Jiva. I cannot understand. The second reason why I cannot understand, not only am I a Jiva, 1/10,000th tip of a hair, Ami Jiva Kshudra Buddhi. I'm less intelligent. With this little intelligence, 64 ounces of grey matter, where I can't understand how my liver and my spleen and my pancreas works. With my 64 ounces of grey matter, I don't understand how my pancreas functions and how my spleen functions within. I can't understand. What will I understand Radha Krishna Leela? How will I be able to understand the mysteries of the interactions between Srimati Radharani and Krishna? And what to speak of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's crying and rubbing his face on the wall in separation. First, I can't understand Radha Krishna. Now he is Krishna outside, Radha inside. That is more mysterious. Here, Radha and Krishna interactions are difficult. And now here is a person who seems to be Krishna, but he is in the mood of Radha. My God. And therefore, Sir Venkat Bhatta says, less intelligent. Einstein, once one beautiful lady came to Einstein and said to Einstein, hey, look, you are very intelligent and I am very beautiful. If we get married, imagine our child. What a child. An intelligent, beautiful child. Your intelligence, my beauty. Einstein said, I am worried if it happens the otherwise. If he gets your intelligence, Kshudra Buddhi, and my beauty, finished. No way there is any hope for him. And therefore, with this Kshudra Buddhi, less intelligence, what will we understand? We can't understand instructions given to us. One man had such high cholesterol and he went to a doctor. Said, doctor, I need to reduce my cholesterol. The doctor said, you must play outdoor games. Said, no, I play indoor games, chess and all that. No sitting. Play outdoor games. Football, cricket, tennis, cholesterol will go down. Come back after a month. He came back after a month and the doctor checked his cholesterol level. It was still the same. So the doctor said, hey, what happened? You didn't play? Said, I played. What you played? I played football. I played tennis. I played cricket. Said, how long you used to play daily? Said, till my mobile battery would go down. My cell phone battery, till the cell phone battery would go down, I would play every day. So if you play till cell phone and sitting inside cricket and football and all that on your cell phone or your mobile phone, how do you reduce your cholesterol? Doesn't have that much to understand many times. It needs same thing in the top floor to understand how instructions are given. Many times the top floor is empty of the house. This is the top floor of the house. There are many floors. The top floor of the house. And many times the top floor is empty. And Venkat Bhatta is saying, my dear Lord, every condition sold, the top floor is empty in terms of understanding your pastimes. Kshudra Buddhi. With this tiny little intelligence, what will I understand? Radha Krishna pastimes. How will I understand? And therefore, what does Kunti Maharani pray in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam? Tata Paramahamsanam Munina Mamalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katham Pashyema Maistriya. My dear Lord, great Paramhamsas, great Munis, great yogis who detach themselves from everything, who sharpen their focus, their intelligence by meditation, by study of the Vedas, they cannot understand you. They cannot understand your mysteries. What to speak of a simple woman like me? I am a simple woman, a housewife, taking care of my kids. What will I understand, my dear Lord? And therefore, Venkat Bhatta is very candid in this. First, I am a jiva, tiny jiva. What is my ability to fathom your pastimes? Two, I have a very, very tiny intelligence, Kshudra Buddhi. With that Kshudra Buddhi, material, tiny intelligence, what will I understand your pastimes? Thirdly, Ami Jiva Kshudra Buddhi Sahaja Asthir. Sahaj. What does Sahaj mean? Easily. Very easy. Asthir. Very easily disturbed. The mind is very easily disturbed. What can a disturbed mind understand Radha Krishna pastime? What can a disturbed mind fathom? What are the mysteries of dealings between Radha and Krishna? It needs a peaceful, controlled mind steeping in love and devotion to understand that. Ami Jiva, Kshudra Buddhi, Sahaj Astir. Very easily disturbed. Very easily disturbed. Forget about getting cancer. Forget about getting cancer to disturb the mind. High fever which doesn't go for 4 days starts disturbing the mind. Something's wrong. I have to do something. I'm dying. I'm dying. 4 days fever, where you're dying? Don't worry. I'm dying. I'm dying. Suddenly the mind gets disturbed with a little fever that comes. Sahaja asthir. And what to speak of? Someone comes and says something to us. Whole night can't sleep. Why did he say that? He doesn't like me. He's envious of me. He hates me. Maybe he has some politics against me. Why did he say that? Why did he say that? Whole night can't sleep. Never thought of a Gita verse so much whole night. Why did he say that? Sahaja asthir. Disturbed immediately. The market crashes. Financial crisis. Disturbed. Can't make the ends meet. The pound rates are going down. Can't make the ends meet. To make two ends meet in life, as householders sometimes is so difficult. Mind is disturbed. What to do? How should I earn? How should I spend? How should I save? What then we understand Radha Krishna's pastimes? Sahaja asthir. What a beautiful verse. I love this verse. Look it up in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Absolutely disturbed mind. One lady, she had 2 sons. One son had the business of sunglasses. The other son had the business of umbrellas. So the lady came to a sadhu, said, my mind is disturbed. Why? Said, my sons, they can't make good money. One son sunglasses, other son umbrella. I'm always disturbed because their business doesn't run all the time. The sage said, simple solution. When it is the summer, be happy for your son who sells sunglasses. When it's monsoons, be happy for the son who's selling umbrellas, because then he's making good money, and he's making good money in the summer. The lady said, yes, good. Okay, I'll go back. So she went, and after a couple of months, she came back. And the sage said, so you happy now? She said, no. My mind is absolutely disturbed. Said, why? Said, no. Said, your son's business is going very well. Both sons doing excellent business. And why your mind is disturbed now? Said, now my mind is disturbed because I'm worrying some thieves will come and steal my son's wealth away. We need a reason. Every now and then, there is some reason for the mind to be disturbed. Sahaja, asthir. We all need 4 A's in life. We need appreciation. We need affection. We need accumulation. And we need accomplishments. If one of these 4 is lacking in life, mind is disturbed. If there is no appreciation coming, mind feels disturbed. If there is no sense of accomplishment and doing something tangible, even in devotional service for Srila Prabhupada, something tangible, a sense of achievement and accomplishment to do something for Prabhupada, mind feels disturbed. Accumulation on the material platform of assets, on the spiritual platform of devotional merits. Can't accumulate? Disturbed. And affection. If one cannot get affection, mind is disturbed. Constantly disturbed. If there is no affection, no appreciation, no accumulation and no accomplishment, sahaja asthir. And we know how our mind is. Sahaja asthir. Very easily disturbed. Therefore, in a devotee community, it's very important to have a culture of appreciation. The devotees around us are not Paramatmas. Devotees are not super soul to understand what we feel for them. It's a human need. Human need to feel appreciated, a human need to feel encouraged, a human need to be acknowledged. And when we do that, the mind is peaceful. Otherwise, asthira, always disturbed, constantly disturbed. There is a strong need to feel affection, feel loved. And therefore, when there are no meaningful relationships where we can love and be loved, share that affection, it's a human need. It's the need of the soul. Disturbed. Asthira. There is a sense to do something in life, to accomplish something. It's human nature to gain something. And therefore, if we cannot do something tangible, materially or spiritually, it's the same thing really, just because it's human nature. Disturbed. And therefore, it's quite common. This is why a devotee community is a community where there's tremendous understanding of this psychology. And when the psychology is understood, there is a need to address these psychological needs. And when we address it, then the mind can remain a little peaceful in the middle of all the mayhem and chaos of this material world. And with that peaceful mind, one can execute Krishna consciousness blissfully. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Once, 19th century, another story from Great Britain. The Queen of England, Queen Victoria, was at a public gathering. And it was a gathering where the elite of Great Britain were invited. The lords, all the top-notch people were there. And the chief guest for that function, whom was invited by Queen Victoria, was an African chieftain from Africa. So he came, he was given the main seat, the Queen was sitting, and all the lords and the main people, the elite and the who's who of London then were all sitting there. And as the meal was all served, everyone ate, the African chieftain ate. And then the finger bowls came. To wash your hands there. All the finger bowls came. The African chieftain had never seen what a finger bowl was. And no one had given him a brief before what to do. So he just picked up the finger bowl and drank it. He just drank it, When he drank that finger bowl, he's supposed to wash his hands. All the elitist, and in those days you can imagine conservative England. You can imagine conservative England where all the lords and the elite sitting there, dressed up in their hats and their coats and their golden cufflinks, was shocked. There was stunning silence in the whole room. What is he doing? No one said it, but everyone's glances said it anyways. Queen Victoria, amazing story, After that stunning silence, she picked up the finger bowl and she drank it herself. Everyone was thinking, what happened to the Queen? And after about 2 minutes, all the elite, everyone in the room, Queen is doing, picked up the finger bowl and drank it. Just 2 days back, I received the story from a devotee. And why did she drink it? She did not want to make the African chieftain feel embarrassed and out of place. Out of courtesy, to make him feel at home and that he's not done a big blunder, she picked up the bowl and just drank it. And because she did it, everyone did it. Courtesy is a passport. Courtesy is a passport that is understood in every country, in every city, in every language, in every culture, and definitely in every heart. Everywhere this passport is accepted. No one will stop you to enter if we have this passport. And sometimes that courtesy lacks, Courtesy lacks with people who know so much philosophy, people who live by so much philosophy. That basic courtesy and appreciation and understanding lacks, and the mind is disturbed. Sahaja asthir. And when the mind is disturbed, what understanding will we have of any higher principles? And therefore, Venkat Bhatta said, my dear Lord Chaitanya, you are asking me this question. Why did Lakshmi not get entry there? Shruti pai, Lakshmi na pai. The Shruti got entry into the Ras-lila. Vedas got entry. Lakshmi na pai. Lakshmi didn't get entry. Ithe ki karan. What is the reason? Venkat Bhatta said, Ami Jiva, first, I am a Jiva. Kshudra Buddhi, second, very small intelligence. Sahaja Asthir, third, mind is always disturbed. Being a Jiva with less intelligence, with a disturbed mind, I will understand Radha Krishna Lila. How will I understand Radha Krishna Lila, my dear Lord? And then he gives the fourth reason why one cannot understand. Ishwarera Lila Koti Samudra Gambhir. The pastimes of the Lord with his gopis and Srimati Radharani are not one samudra, ocean, Koti Samudra, millions of ocean put together. If one ocean is so deep, if millions of oceans are put together, how deep will it be? Gambhir. Ishwarera Lila Koti Samudra Gambhir. The pastimes of the Lord with the gopis and Srimati Radharani is very, very deep. Because it is very deep, I can't understand, my dear Lord. His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj used to say that many times when we read the Bhagavatam or when we read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we are only surfing on the waves of the ocean. The gems, the precious jewels are underneath. One has to learn how to become a diver. A perfect soul is a diver. A sadhaka is a surfer. Right? And because a sadhaka is a surfer has access only on the waves. And when he has access on the waves, he cannot understand the depths. A perfected soul is a diver. He has the oxygen. A diver needs oxygen cylinders. He has the oxygen of love, which sustains him when he enters into the depths of these pastimes. And when he dives into the oceanic depths of these pastimes, he can understand what it means. Of course, Venkat Bhatta was a great devotee. He's teaching us by his example why we cannot understand all these subject matters. Prabhupada, of course, would call, when he saw someone surfing on the ocean, Prabhupada didn't know what it was called. Prabhupada said, so what is this called? And a devotee said, American devotee said, Prabhupada, it's called surfing. And what do they call these people? They call them surfers. Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, surfers? I call them sufferers. Prabhupada looked at them and said, I call them sufferers. Prabhupada said, they call surfers, I call sufferers. We can at best be surfing on the top. Therefore, Adi-lila and Madhya-lila is very good for us. Very, very good. Madhavendra Puri, all the lessons from Madhavendra Puri are very good for us. Lord Chaitanya in South India, South Indian Brahmana story, very good for us. Excellent. We can learn and we can appreciate, we can understand, we can get into that depth. But as soon as it comes to Radha Krishna Lila, Ishwarela Lila Koti Samudra Gambhir, it is a very, very deep subject matter. And therefore Venkat Bhatta said, for these four reasons, I cannot answer that question, Lord Chaitanya, my dear Lord. I don't know why. You are saying that the Vedas got entry into Ras Leela. Lakshmi did not get entry. Why did Lakshmi leave your Narayan? Your Lakshmi is so chaste, a wife to Narayan. If she's such a chaste wife to Narayan, why did she leave and become unchaste to enter into the Ras Leela of Lord Shri Krishna? He said, sorry, this is beyond my ability to fathom for these four reasons. And therefore, in 1969, when Srila Prabhupada met His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj and others in regards to the BTG magazine, he explained to them, as members of the Hare Krishna movement, these are the four things we should do in our Back to Garden magazine and in our preaching. First, he said, awaken. Awaken an interest in people. We cannot make a horse drink water, but we can create a thirst in the horse by bringing the horse to the body of water. We cannot push the horse, drink. But by bringing him close to the body of the water, we can create a thirst in the horse to drink water. So Srila Prabhupada said the first thing we should do is awaken. They're in a sleep mode now, sleeping. Speak, write in a way that it is an alarm clock. An alarm clock rings and awakens a person from his sleep. So what a person says or what a person writes should awaken a person from his sleep state and create interest. I want to know. The second thing Srila Prabhupada told His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj is, after awakening, train them, he said. Train them train them in the philosophy, train them in the culture, and after training, Srila Prabhupada said the third thing is make them understand. What should they understand? They should understand Radha Krishna, not their Leela. They should understand Radha Krishna Tattva. How Krishna is energetic, and Srimati Radharani, Lakshmi Devi, Sita Devi, all of them are the energy. Then they should understand. After being trained in philosophy and culture, then they should come to Radha Krishna, not straight. And then Prabhupada said the fourth thing after that is absorption in Radha Krishna Leela. That is the fourth stage. He said four things: awaken, train, make them understand, and then help them absorb in Radha Krishna pastimes. And it's quite interesting that we want to be absorbed in Radha Krishna pastimes, and Radha Krishna, when they come to this world as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna wants to be absorbed in Prahlad Maharaj's pastimes and Dhruva Maharaj's pastimes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna, and he used to come to Tota Gopinath Mandir in Jagannath Puri and sit there with Gadadhar Pandit, not hearing how Radharani's hair is being braided by Krishna. Not hearing how Srimati Radharani and Krishna are in the Kunja and they're looking at each other and having an intimate pastime. No. Lord Chaitanya is hearing from Gadadhar Pandit hundreds of times the story of Dhruva and the story of Prahlad. So Prabhupada said, awaken, train, understand, and absorb. In 1977 February, a man in India came to meet Srila Prabhupada in Bhubaneswar. And when he came to meet Srila Prabhupada in Bhubaneswar, he said to Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, I want to make a movie on the Ras Panchadhyay, the 5 chapters of Radha Krishna Ras Leela from the 10th canto of the I want to make a movie on that. Srila Prabhupada said, yeah, you can make a movie on the Srimad Bhagavatam, but first make a movie on the first canto. You first make a movie on the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, first understand who Krishna is, and then you can make a movie on the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Ras Panchadhyay, which are the 5 chapters of Ras Leela between Radharani and Krishna. Srimati Radharani has 2 roles to play. Kaviraj Goswami explains. Ladini Karaya Krishna Ananda Aswadan. Ladini Shakti, Srimati Radharani, her first role is Karaya Krishna Ananda Aswadan. She gives Krishna pleasure. She dresses up in a way. She cooks in a way. She speaks in a way. She behaves in a way. She dances and sings in a way that will simply give pleasure to Krishna. That is her life, pleasure to Krishna. Ladini Karaya Krishna Ananda Aswadan, makes him taste Ananda. Ananda Aswadan. But he is benefited. What about the devotee? Ladini Radwara Kare Bhaktera Poshan. While she gives pleasure to Krishna, she nourishes the devotee. That's beautiful. Kaviraj Goswami explains, her 2 roles are, first role, to give pleasure to Krishna. Second role, to nourish the devotee. Therefore, what is Srimati Radharani's role in a devotee's life? 5 things. Protection, recommendation, instruction, inspiration, and salvation. This is how she does Bhaktera Poshan. This is how she nourishes her devotees. Right. Ladini Radwara Kare Bhaktera Poshan. Nourishment of a devotee. 5 things she offers. First, she offers protection to a devotee. Once, when Srimati Radharani was with Lalita and Vishakha, close to Radhakund, there was a jackal who fell into a pit. And the kids around that area, they lit the whole pit on fire. And as the pit was lit on fire, the jackal's body was burning. And the jackal was howling for help. And this was heard by Srimati Radharani. She said, who is this howling? In the area around where I am, no one should be like this, going through all this trouble. She sent Lalita Devi, go, free this jackal and bring him here. So Lalita Devi came and she pulled out the jackal out of the hole and brought the jackal and put it in front of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. And at that time, Srimati Radharani put her lotus feet on the head of the jackal, protected the jackal and delivered the jackal. And the acharyas have explained that the living entity is like that jackal. The material world is like the pit. And just like the jackal fell into the pit, similarly, the living entity falls into this material world. And just like the kids around set the pit on fire, this material world is samsara davanala, on fire, fire of material existence and suffering. And everyone around giving more and more trouble. In such a situation, the jackal is howling for help. The living entity is crying and making a plea for help. And Srimati Radharani, her heart melts. The mother's heart cannot take the child's suffering. And therefore she sends Lalita Devi. And who is Lalita Devi? The Lalita Devi represents the spiritual master. Just like Lalita Devi was sent by Srimati Radharani to rescue the jackal, similarly, the spiritual master is a representative of Srimati Radharani. Lalita Devi comes to rescue. And therefore the jackal is brought and put at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. So the spiritual master puts the disciple at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. My dear Srimati Mother, now you offer him to Krishna. I have brought him to you. Therefore her first role is protection from material existence, like protecting the jackal. The second role is recommendation. She recommends the living entity to Krishna. How does she recommend the living entity? Once Jadurani Devi, she painted a picture of Radha Krishna. And she brought it to Srila Prabhupada. In that painting, Srimati Radharani was looking away from Krishna, somewhere else. She was not looking towards, she was looking somewhere away, and she was holding a garland in her hands, looking somewhere else. And then Prabhupada looked at this painting and Prabhupada said, hey, looks like Srimati Radharani has another boyfriend. Where is she looking? Prabhupada said that. Said, looks like Srimati Radharani has another boyfriend. Why is she looking there? She should be looking to Krishna. And Jadurani Devi, she felt just totally, she was so affected. She started crying there that what she had done. And Prabhupada pacified her and said, don't worry. You know what? Srimati Radharani, she's looking that side because she's looking for Jadurani Devi. Jadurani Devi has done so much service for me. She has done so many paintings for me to be put in these books. So Srimati Radharani is looking there. She's looking for Jadurani. Where is Jadurani? Where is Jadurani? I want to put this garland on Jadurani because she has done so much service. And therefore, Srimati Radharani is the one who recommends us to Krishna. When we make some things, cook something for Krishna, sometimes Rajbhog cooking can be blunders. Some blunders. Once in our temple, the ladies in Chowpatty, they were cooking some things, new items, inventions, So after a while we realized these items don't exist in the creation of Lord Brahma. So then one meeting was called, and after the meeting was called, the Grihastha devotee who heads this committee told all the ladies, whatever you want to make, the experiment should be done on the husband, then make the offering to Krishna. Don't do it otherwise. It was happening otherwise. First they were experimenting these things on Krishna, and if it was successful, then they were feeding the husbands. So many times when the cooking is done, there is many blunders that happen. What does Srimati Radharani do? All that bhoga that is offered, kacha, pakka, all salt, everything, big blunders. One thing nice here is they keep pepper and salt here, In case it is less, add Krishna. You only add yourself. We wanted to, but we were imperfect. You can add a little yourself. But even if we can't, the final touch, the magic touch Srimati Radharani gives. Whatever service, book distribution, preaching, cooking, which we are trying to offer to Krishna, imperfections are there because we are imperfect souls. Srimati Radharani puts the final spice. And when Krishna tastes it, he said, amazing, amazing. It was fantastic. And what does Radharani say? She didn't say, it was, I know what it was, I made it good. She recommends the devotee. He made it, Krishna. He made that preparation. He gave that talk. He distributed so many books. Please accept him. She accepts, she recommends. Therefore, Srimati Radharani offers to us protection from material existence. She offers to us recommendation letter. Krishna, take him. The third thing she offers is instruction. Through her personal example, she offers us instruction. Rupa Goswami compiled a verse where Srimati Radharani puts herself in the mood of an ordinary mortal and she's praying to Brahma. Panchatvam tanubhuta meti nivaha swamshar milanti dhruvam. My body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air and ether. My dear Lord Brahma, when I die, how can Radharani die? But in that mood she's saying, when I die, then let each element of my body serve Krishna. Let the earth element go and mix with the earth of Vrindavan and make Krishna's feet feel softness when he's walking. Let the water element of my body go and mix with the waters of the river Yamuna, in which Krishna bathes and Krishna can enjoy his pastimes. Let the fire element of my body go and mix with the flame of that fire in the lamp of Lord Krishna, so that when Lord Krishna looks into the mirror, my fire element can serve him so that he can get the light to see himself. Let the air element of my body mix with the air of Vrindavan, which carries aroma of many flowers, so that Krishna can enjoy. And let the ether element go and mix with the space and the ether, just so that I can be there to assist Krishna in his pastimes. Through personal example of her prayers, she's instructing us what mood we should have. With whatever we have, we should just want to serve Krishna. And what does Srimati Radharani do? I am good, you are good. No, I'll hold back to this service. This is my service. This is my service. I will do it for Krishna. I can do it better. No. Whoever can do it better pushes her. Pushes that devotee to Krishna. She cooks better than me. Okay, you do it. I can't do it as better. Okay, you do it. Krishna likes her. Okay, you go. Srimati Radharani teaches us by a personal example, instructs us. It's not me or you. It's who can do it better, and it's whom Krishna wants to do that service. The fourth thing she offers is inspiration. Srimati Radharani, according to Rupa Goswami, is the mistress of bhakti. And being the mistress of bhakti, all inspiration that comes in our heart to perform any devotional act is infused by Srimati Radharani. Any inspiration at any point of time to do any service or any devotional act is placed in our hearts by the grace of Srimati Radharani. And the last, fifth, is salvation. Forgiveness for all our misdoings, misgivings, and ultimately salvation and upliftment. In Sri Vaishnava temples, they have Bhudevi and Sri Devi on the side of Narayan, expansions of Srimati Radharani. So when a devotee makes a blunder, a mistake and comes to Krishna, my dear Narayan, please forgive me. Narayan says, you wretch, you do all these blunders, all this nonsense, and you're coming me to ask for forgiveness. You're not ashamed of yourself to come to me? So he looks towards Sri Devi and says, Sri Devi, what is your opinion? Such a sinful person, such a sinful wretch is coming to me. What is your opinion? I should forgive him? Sri Devi says, yes, my dear Lord. Every person in Kali Yuga is a hypocrite and sinful. How many will you just keep saying like this? Everyone who comes to you is sinful and wretch only. Deliver him. And the Lord says, I thought you will come to my rescue. I don't want him from here. I thought you'll come to my rescue and say, don't forgive him. So I don't want to listen to you. So he looks at Bhudevi on the other side. He says, what is your opinion, Bhudevi? Bhudevi says, I disagree with Sri Devi. The Lord says, good. At least now you came to my rescue. I should throw him out, isn't it? The sinful wretch. Saying, I absolutely disagree with Sri Devi in her opinion. How? Bhudevi explains, my dear Lord, there's no one sinful in this world. No one hypocrite. Anyone who comes to take shelter of you is a pious person. He may be as sinful as hypocrite, but he has come to you now. Now he's pious. So I'm not saying you deliver. He's such a pious person, he's come to you. Give him shelter. And Lord Narayan is trapped between Bhudevi and Sri Devi. He wants to reject that sinful wretch, and Sri Devi is saying, everyone sinful, give shelter. And Bhudevi is saying, any sinful man comes as a pious man. So why are you calling me sinful? Give shelter to a pious man. Trapped in the middle, what can Narayan do? And therefore, Srimati Radharani and her expansions offer us salvation. So what is Radharani's role for a devotee? Protection, recommendation, instruction, inspiration, and salvation. And that Radha Krishna combined together comes as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not just to deliver us, but he also comes to understand what is the nature of that love of Srimati Radharani for him. And while trying to understand this, he's going through these deep moods of separation. And in these deep moods of separation and ecstasy, he's rubbing his face against the wall. And going through all this, holding the kantha. Ratrir palapakori swaruper kantha dhari. He's holding the kantha of Swarup Damodar Goswami. And Ughadiya, he's speaking his heart to Swarup Damodar Goswami. We will not be able to understand this at this stage. Why? Jiva, Kshudra Buddhi, Sahaja Asthir, and the Leelas of the Lord are Koti Samudra Gambhir. And therefore we should not even try to understand. We don't need to try to understand all these things. We only need to try to understand Krishna, the Supreme Lord. I am an insignificant servant, and how can I serve? That is all we need to understand. And if we can do that, by the grace of the Lord, whenever he feels, like he placed in the heart of Advaita Acharya, the meaning of the verse in the 13th chapter, he will place in our heart, unfolding the mysteries of what is happening here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, or what is happening in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, or what is happening in the Gita Govinda of Jayadev Goswami, or the poetries of Chandidas and Vidyapati, all this esoteric stuff. He will place in our hearts whenever there is adhikar. Without adhikar and without proper qualification, if we dwell on these pastimes, disaster. Disaster in life. A child, if he drinks five bowls of condensed milk rabdi, he'll have diarrhea. Because his digestive system is not evolved. Radha Krishna Leela, Lord Chaitanya's Ante Leela is like condensed milk rabdi. But our spiritual digestion is very weak. We shouldn't even dare touch it. But when a person comes to the stage of Raga Bhakti, grows up, a man who's grown up and his digestion evolves, he can eat 10 bowls. What is the problem? Therefore, great souls, like so many saintly personalities, Jayadev Goswami, Vidyapati, Chandidas, their spiritual digestion is so evolved that why 10 bowls? 20 bowls of rabdi they can digest. Therefore, Radha Krishna Leela is rabdi. Let them handle it because they have the digestive power. For us, our digestion is very weak. We will only, Prabhupada said, if you meditate on these things, what will come in our heart? Simply some lusty desires. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, Radha Krishna, Raslila and all these things, if you speak, what will happen? It's like an orchestra, he said. Hearing Radha Krishna Raslila for an unqualified person is like hearing Raslila, hearing an orchestra in a crematorium. What will happen? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, simply the ghosts will dance. If an orchestra is being performed in a crematorium with no human beings, what will dance there? The ghosts will dance. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if you hear Radha Krishna Raslila, when not qualified, the ghosts of material desires will start dancing in the heart. Therefore, with great respect and reverence, we put our hands above our heads. And with great reverence, we keep that where it is. And we remain grounded on the earth with our feet on the ground, that I'm still Kshudra. I'm still less intelligent. I'm still contaminated. Let me just take shelter of sadhana bhakti, take shelter of the process of devotional service that Prabhupada taught, and perfect my life. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Gaur.